Do you know what the Simpson house will look like in 30 years? Bart lived in Springfield Elementary after his divorce. Skinner would remind him every day to pay his rent. He'd bring out the beer.
Mom, don't make us go to Dad. It smells like dog, but there's no dog.
And the kids would come to spend the holidays with him. Lisa was married to House. Their daughter, Keir, loved nothing more than being alone on the internet. They decided to take Keir back to Homer for Christmas. Maggie, a rock and roll diva, was pregnant, but she doesn't know who the father is. Marge got the news that the kids were coming home for Christmas. Lisa and Keir arrived home. Homer modeled wine bottles every day after he quit drinking. Bart arrives home and takes the kids to decorate the tree. Pregnant Maggie can't ride an instant teleport and has to go on an airplane. Homer puts on an invisibility cloak and takes the kids to Appa's store. Apu is not alone in the face of a robbery. Homer breaks Burns' window with a rock. Smith pours out the dog's bone. Bart pulls Lisa up to the tree house with a rope. He watched Homer take care of the kids. He and Lisa drink and talk about the children's problems. Homer made his grandchildren smaller into a model airplane and they had a great time. The tree house lowered them down. Lisa showed her love for Marge. Bart started watching TV with the kids too. He hugged the children. Maggie carried the kid home. Do you know why Homer peed his pants? Homer realizes he's peed his pants. He went to the store and bought a urine alarm.
Simpson, forgot your receipt for your adult bedwetting product.
Where's the device? Goes to bed and the alarm goes off. Wakes up Marge and the kids.
Mother and I are wetting the bed.
We're wetting the bed?
Marge found the scientist. He decides to help Homer find out why he wets the bed. The scientist puts the device on the Simpsons' heads. They appeared next to Homer, who was skiing. The Grim Reaper was dragging the coffin with his scythe in hand. Marge discovers that the coffin contains clues to Homer's bedwetting. Homer climbs on top of the coffin and slides off the cliff. They close their eyes and go into the next dream. Bart kept making faces. They got into a fight. They entered the psychiatric clinic and opened the coffin. Fish were pouring out of it. They were almost buried by the fish. They took the equipment and went to Homer's last dream. It's full of food and beer. Moss Tavern is everywhere. Homer was on a roller coaster. Suddenly, the Simpsons are swamped by pouring beer. As they're about to get caught in the gears, Old Mo stuck to the gears. The Grim Reaper fell from the sky and took them to the roof. Turns out the Grim Reaper was Homer's mom. Together, they looked at why Homer wet his bed. Homer and Abel went fishing. He dumped the bait all over his head. He capsized the boat and his parents divorced. And Homer's guilt caused him to wet the bed. What happens when Homer has a #1 fan? Mike pulls out a newspaper and gets down on one knee.
You be my mentor?
Pulls out a chocolate bar. Homer takes the chocolate and becomes Mike's mentor. Mike buys him donuts at work. He gave Mike a tour of his workplace. Mike brought his wife to Homer's house. At the dinner table, Mike praises Homer. Bart talks down to Mike about Homer. Mike got red in the face and yelled at Bart. The crowd was shocked. Bart cried from the table to the room.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Homer and Marge got into an argument. He decides to help Mike. They approached Burns for an investment. Burns insulted Homer. Mike red-faced and yelled at Burns. Burns pulls out a gun and Mac's face is full of bullets. He was laughed at by Bart. Homer kept comforting him. When Homer yells at himself, Mike red-faced yells at Homer and runs out of the house. He took the pizza truck and found Homer. The gang surrounded them. Mike drove the pizza truck to the abandoned lot. He turns around and runs into Fat Tony. Mike's pizzas were well received. Fat Tony complimented Homer on it. It brought tears to Homer's eyes.